Hello, it is Steph, and this is another 2024 Gig Goals video. I know it has been many days since I did day 2 of rideshare, and I apologize. It's not that I've been taking time off, it's that I've been working a lot. And by working a lot, do I mean, am I meeting those goals? No, I am not. But I have met my money goals for the week already, and I am out here. It is a Saturday. I've done catering this morning. I have catering this afternoon. I've got to get my DoorDash score up to 70%, my acceptance rate up to 70% today, so that I can dash anytime. And I would not be hurt if I could get some more Uber money going on. I did do 12 or 13 lifts yesterday down in Orlando. I found a strategy that doesn't freak me the F out in Orlando. That's right, guys. The other day when I was driving in Orlando on day 3 that you did not see, oh goodness, it was not good for me. But I've come up with some strategies to help myself. So for this week, I'm nowhere near the $1,500 I wanted to make, and I'm also nowhere near working 5 days. I've been working for like 14 days straight or something, 13, something like that. Anyway, there's a reason, and I've mentioned it before, but there are some first-time driver bonuses on Lyft and Uber that require a lot of rides. In order to get my bonus of $670 on Lyft, in the first 30 days, I have to complete 140 rides. And that means going somewhere where there's lots of rides, like Orlando. Now, some of you people are probably not nervous drivers, and I'm not a very nervous driver in a normal situation. But if you've ever driven in Orlando, there is a lot of insanity, tons of fast driving, tons of freeway exits that just kind of show up out of the blue. Florida doesn't really like to name their roads just one thing. They like to have 2 or 3 names for them, and sometimes that sign does not like to mention the name of the road you're looking for. The theme parks have pretty good orchestrated ride-share parking and pick-up and drop-off, but sometimes that makes it more confusing too as a new driver. If you were a brand new driver in a huge city like Orlando or New York City, I don't even want to think what that's like, LA, different places like that, I'm sure it was really frightening when you got started, even if you were pretty familiar with the territory. Another thing that I have really noticed about doing rideshare the last few days is that rideshare is super sedentary. If you're busy, which you want to be, you don't get out of your car hardly ever. And that means no steps, no standing, no exercise goals met. When I do food delivery all day, especially on a long day, I definitely do some calorie burning and some exercise goals. I put some miles on. So you might be asking yourself, what are these strategies I'm coming up with to help myself? Well, they're still in the works, so I'm not going to say I got it nailed down. But what I do know is I want to get a little more exercise. I want to get more money. I want to work less hours. And I also don't want to commute 100 miles every day. Additionally, one other challenge I have is because of my catering, I do carry a big cart with me a lot of the time to assist with big catering orders, and that's not conducive to rideshare. So that's another hurdle to consider in an everyday situation. So basically what it's looking like to me, in order to kind of meet my money goals, maybe $1,500 a week, probably not in 5 days, but it looks like I'm going to need to change it up a lot. I'm going to have to do some catering and food delivery, possibly in the morning and afternoon. Then I might have to go home for an hour and a half and have lunch, let the dog out, change my clothes maybe, and then turn around and leave again, possibly go to a totally different area and do some ride share. Now, if that sounds really hectic to you, yeah, it sounds really hectic to me too. I'm not saying this is a dream. What I'm saying is I want to maximize my earnings, and I want to do it in a pretty fast way. I have some goals. I want to take this trip, but I want to pay off all of my bills. I want to get it done and over with so that when I am making money out here, that I'm making it for me to spend and save, not for me to pay for things that I probably don't even have anymore, don't even remember. So I still need to come up with a real daily game plan, and I think it's going to change a lot depending on catering and my location, since I move every 2 to 3 weeks all year long. So there's a lot of stuff that's going to be winging it, and a lot of stuff that I'm going to have to learn trial by fire. But I do know that there's some money out there, and one of the things I've figured out about driving in a city like Orlando, for me anyway, is that the stress of some areas may not ever be worth it, but they're definitely not worth it as a brand new driver. So what I was able to do yesterday is I drove to the Florida Mall area where there's a lot of people doing a lot of stuff, and I put a 5-mile perimeter around myself for rides that I wanted to pick up, and it kept me busy. The rides weren't especially high paying. I did have a lot of kind of like surge pricing that happened because it was busy around there, so I did get some extra bucks there. But I got a lot of rides in, and that's the goal right now. I still need to make like 97, 96 rides in the next 20 some odd days. So getting those rides in is a good idea. And it made me way more familiar with the area, so that I went around and around in the same places and did not feel so lost and confused and scared of traffic situations. If you are a driver out there and you've dealt with some similar stuff, whether it's a huge city or just dealing with traffic situations, feel free to leave a comment or any tips that you have for learning a new area. I know I have a few friends who travel all over the country. They live in an RV and they do Uber for a living, and they tackle a lot of big cities, and I'm betting they have some pretty good tactics for just getting in there and getting the work. So anyways, thanks for joining me again. This is day 6 of having rideshare, I believe. And today, like I said, I'm doing some catering. I'm going to do some food delivery in between catering. And then I might just try to get some rideshare done before it is time for me to possibly have a good evening. Possibly, I mean a nice evening off, you know. Perhaps I'll check back in. Alright folks, since the beginning of this video, it has been a couple of days, and I have been in the villages working because I had catering. And so yesterday I did a catering order, and I decided to launch my apps. And DoorDash has some kind of problem with their geolocation service right now. It seems like it may have come about with their most recent update, but it's sending me orders that say they're like 4 miles when they're really like 14 miles, which screws up your completion rate, your acceptance rate, and your earning opportunities. So I got a hold of DoorDash and asked them to... I got a hair on my lip, guys. That was horrifying. Anyway, so they fixed a couple of things, but I don't trust it yet, so I don't know what to think about that. In the meantime, however, I launched all my apps. I used Lyft, I used Uber, and there's actually quite a few Lyft rides here in the Villages area. Yesterday I did 5 or 6 Lyfts, and it would have been one more, but someone canceled one of them. And then I've done 3 Lyfts so far this morning after catering. I have another catering in a little less than an hour. And I don't know what I'm going to do with DoorDash because I don't want to waste time, and I don't want to waste energy delivering orders that aren't worth anything. So I'll have to test those waters later. I am lifting right now, although I clearly do not have a passenger, and I'm getting ready to go live on Uber as well. Although I have less than an hour before my catering, and that means it gets real iffy right about now. Something else interesting I'm finding about rideshare, at least it's interesting to me, is I expected more people would be really talkative, and I feel like less people are really talkative. But some people are definitely still good at conversation, and you can never really guess who that's going to be until those conversations get started. Interesting. Fun. Alright folks, it's 3:43 in the afternoon, and I have made all of my standard bill paying living money for the day. I did 2 catering orders, 1 DoorDash order, 1 Uber Eats order, which was a bit of a nightmare, and 5 lifts so far. So since I've made all of my money and it's only 3:43, I'm probably going to chill out for a while out here and see if I can't make some of that 2024 gig goal money. We shall see. Alright, I guess I should also note that I did purchase my plane tickets for Boise today, $561.38 for 4 days in Boise basically, and a car rental, economy car rental for those days. I don't think that's a good deal, but I don't think there's a better deal really, at least not a simple deal. So that is booked, and that means I need to make that money back ASAP because that was taken out of our vacation fund. And although quite excited to see my grandkids, Boise is no vacation. Well, I made another $15 on DoorDash, and I found out that DoorDash is still broken. So it routed me weird. I knew I'd been to that address before, and when I got to the routed address, it was not an address. So I went to the correct address, and it was a customer I've delivered to a few times. She gave me some personal news about her that was very good news, and I was very happy for her. We had a nice short discussion. So I'm very happy for my customer who I have delivered to several times and has always been a nice tipper as well. And so that was really nice. And I called DoorDash and explained to them what was going on. And they explained to me that they know and that for the last 24 hours they've had routing problems and they have no current ETA. So that means I'm not going to dash anymore until I can at least feel like testing the waters, because it is not fun to either accept a 5-mile dash and then have to drive 15 miles for the same amount of money you wanted for 5 miles, nor is it fun to show up late to your customer's address with their items because you were out in Timbuktu. So, we're going to have to wait and see what happens with DoorDash. Alright guys, I'm back at it today, and right now I'm door dashing. So far I'm 2 for 2 with the address being seemingly correct, which is good news. I also did a catering this morning. That's all I've really done so far. I did get a COVID booster shot, yay me. And we might have a tornado. So, as you can see out there, it's looking fun. This is what I am talking about. This is not optimal delivery weather. Seems like even less optimal picking up people weather, although they may be better. But boy, it's not going to be fun going out there to pick up Panda Express, I'll tell you that much. Would you brave this for $9.50? Would you brave this for your own food? It's crazy. Alright guys, my shoes are soaking wet. My butt is soaking wet. And my umbrella looks like this now. Fun times. You guys, maybe it's all worth it because of this. Look at these sheepies. Look at them. They're all wet. They're sad that they're wet. They don't like it. They're still eating, but poor wet sheepies. Bye, sheepies. Alright, folks, this video just keeps going. This is Friday the 5th. I have till the 22nd to get another 84 rides on Lyft, so I am out there trying to make that goal happen. That will actually pay for probably the majority of my trip. If I get the bonus money, when I get the bonus money. But I would like to do a little more than that, obviously. I have been doing some Lyft this morning. I did some catering and I did some DoorDash. So now I am heading out to Orlando to try my hand at getting a bunch of lifts again. And I still need to make some money to get my day over with and to meet my weekly regular goal, not my big 2024 gig goals. So I'm at Turkey Lake. Here I go into Orlando. Alright folks, I'm at the mall. I've done only 2 rides so far because I don't know why. It makes me so nervous doing rides. I don't know why. People are generally pretty nice, you know, sometimes, mostly. I don't know. It just freaks me out. Giving rides freaks me out for some reason. More so definitely in Orlando. If I was in Wildwood, it would be less freaky, but still freaky. I'll tell you what, I don't know what's going on with all that, but I think it had something to do with spending over a year working by myself doing food delivery. Now, I don't want to share my workspace with anyone. I think that's what it is. If you are a gig worker who does like food delivery and rideshare and things like that, let me know. Do you feel the same way? Do you have a problem with sharing your workspace after so much alone time? Alright guys, I wound up doing about 11 rides total yesterday. 2 were in Wildwood and the others were all, I think they were all out in Orlando. Anyway, I was out till about midnight. Fun. Did not make big bucks, but I did make all my money plus a little, so that's good. And I should be out there today getting more rides, but you know what? I'm not. I'm at Okahumpka Park because I'm lacking motivation. Now you might say to yourself, Steph, I don't know anyone else that has more motivation than you when it comes to gig work. And I would say that's probably not true, but it could be. But why? Well, I think it's just the stress, the added stress. Not only do I have the money that I'm trying to make, the extra money that I'm trying to make, but I'm trying to make it in different ways with different people in different locations. And there's just a lot of equations going on up here that my brain doesn't appreciate. However, it is a beautiful day here at Okahumpka Park. And I did a little bit of work. I did some DoorDashes. And I guess this means that sometime tomorrow, the next day, I'm going to have to get with it. I'm going to have to get real serious about more rideshare and about making more money. But I also wanted to get serious about ending this video because I know it's been going on and on and on. I think now this video is like a compilation of about a week's worth of boring talking to you about gig work. And I am sorry that it is boring for many of you, but I'm still just trying to figure out what I'm doing out here. So, for any of you that have suggestions, whether you be a gig worker or not, feel free to leave them. Everyone knows stress, and everybody knows what it's like to try to overcome stress. So, you probably have some good ideas for me as well. But in any case, let's close this video out. Have a wonderful day. If you made it all the way through this video, I hope soon I'll be making some videos where I make a little bit more money and a little bit more excitement happen in the video. But thanks for watching. Talk to you guys soon.